What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I have a lot to catch you guys up on. Obviously, I've been MIA for a little while. First off, we got back to work, so then we got busy with that. We got busy traveling. I got busy getting engaged. So just last week, we came back from Paris, from France. I got engaged to my lovely fiance, so I'm super excited about that. And it was planned out perfectly, not just with how everything worked out, and obviously she didn't see it coming at all, but because we're back and football just started. And you know I love football. And basketball is right around the corner. We got the NBA coming up. Preseason schedules were released today. So my lovely Raptors start their season October 4th will be their preseason. So I'm sure that's around the time everybody else's preseason is starting. So the NBA camps are going to start later this month. Football, obviously, preseason felt like forever because we were just anticipating this moment and the actual regular season getting started. Fans are back. The league is back. Football is here. And it got started in an awesome way last night. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Dallas Cowboys. It was obviously their first game, the first meaningful game, I should say, since the Super Bowl. Brady entering his 22nd season. This man is 44 years old, and he played pretty lights out. It was an awesome game. Before we get into the highlights, man, how awesome was it? I will say this, though. That game felt like it took forever, did it not? That game just went on. I think it was around like 3.5 hours long. So I don't know why. I was obviously super excited. I'm super pumped to have football back, but it did feel like it lagged, and probably just because there were so many passing plays. They really didn't run the football that much. Dak Prescott played, and he played phenomenal. Having come back from that broken ankle injury, he looked great. It's so good to see him back and fight back after that, catastrophic injury. Man, just a great feel-good night. Football was back. The ratings were off the charts. I heard something where over 16 million people tuned in to watch this game, which just to kind of give a little gauge of where that is, that's more than half of what people averaged watching the NBA Finals. So football is back, man. How exciting is this? So pumped. Obviously, we'll go through the highlights of that game first, and then I'm going to preview this Sunday's games. We'll look into the Monday night game, which is right here in Las Vegas. The Raiders opening up at Allegiant Stadium, hosting the Baltimore Ravens. I should say they banged up Baltimore Ravens because they're kind of falling apart with all these injuries. But before we move on, before we get into Sunday and this exciting weekend that's coming up, we'll look back at last night's game. Cowboys, Bucks. Let's look at the highlights. All right, to Tampa we go, and boom, the NFL kickoff is here, everyone. So Cowboys, Buccaneers, first kickoff is a touchback in case you guys bet on that. And here comes Tom Brady. Oh, yes. Bucks starting off with the ball first, 3 and out. Cowboys 3 and out, but then here come the Bucks, and we've seen this before. Brady, Gronkowski, huge gain there, setting them up on this second drive of the game for them. Brady eventually finds Chris Godwin for the touchdown right there. Tampa Bay goes up first, 7-0, but don't worry, there'll be plenty of scoring in this ball game. All right, so then the Cowboys get the ball back, and Dak looked good. Here, look at this play. Backs up. CeeDee Lamb. Beautiful ball. Crashes into some defenders, but still gets in. Touchdown, Cowboys. And they tied this game up at 7. Telling everybody they're not going to go away. And that's the way this whole game went, to be honest. Brady here, looking. Just throw it up. Gronk will get it. Gronk, touchdown. His first of the season. Tampa Bay's up 14-7. Then Prescott, after he kind of fumbles the snap here, recomposes themselves, finds Amari Cooper, touchdown. Cowboys tied up? No, they shanked the extra point, but then they tacked on a field goal. They're up by 2, and then Brady, hey, that's Antonio Brown. Touchdown, beautiful throw, beautiful catch. Tampa Bay back on top. Cowboys added another field goal, and here comes Gronk for his second touchdown of the game. Man, him and Brady, just a crazy connection, but here comes Dak Prescott. Cooper, corner of the end zone, touchdown again. The Cowboys just would not go away, and we have ourselves a ball game. And then this was a turning point in the game. Bucks drive down the field, and Chris Godwin fumbles. The Cowboys get the ball. The Cowboys are only down 2 right when it looked like the Bucks were going to extend that lead with just under 5 minutes to play. But the Cowboys got the ball back there, drove down the field, get a 48-yard field goal, and now are up 29-28. But that's just too much time for the GOAT. Brady finds Gronkowski for a good gain here. getting the Bucs close to field goal range, and then this is the play that everyone's talking about right here. Chris Godwin, was it a push-off? Was it not? You be the judge. Personally, let them play. I think of it as the NBA and how an offensive foul would be called. I didn't see his arm extend all the way, so let them play. Godwin makes the catch, puts the ball right about the 20. That sets up the Buccaneers game-winning field goal, and they go on to win this one 31-29. All right, so what an adrenaline rush that was last night. Brady, when he gets the ball back with over a minute left, I feel like I tweeted it. I was like, too much time for the GOAT. You just knew all they needed was a field goal. That's too much time for him. I felt like you knew that it just was going to end this way. I will say when this line came out and then it started moving and it got to like -9, the Cowboys were underdogs by 9 points. I mean, sure, they're not the best team, but they're not that bad. That 9 points is a lot. And I definitely felt like that line was too high. But what a game we got. Couple of things that I took away from this game. Like I said earlier, it felt like this game lasted forever. And I took a look at the stats and just the box score. And it's definitely because of just how much these quarterbacks pass. Dak Prescott threw 58 passes. That's insane. That is so many passes in week one. I mean, for any game, let alone, but for week one. Brady on the other side threw 50. So these guys both had almost 400 yards passing each. I mean, Prescott had 403. Brady, to be exact, had 379. But if you look at this, and I don't know if this is just going to be the new NFL. I mean, you know, with the NBA, the 3-ball became the thing, and then everybody's just jacking up 3-pointers. And to be honest, me being a more old school kind of fan, I don't know that I like this and that I want the NFL to go in this direction. Also, like I said, because it just makes the game drag, because every incomplete pass, you know, the clock is stopping. Whereas every rush, the clock continues, so it makes the game go faster. It gives it kind of a flow. But you look at the stats, the Cowboys, Zeke Elliott had 11 carries. That's it. He's their leading rusher. He had 11 carries for 33 yards. The next guy, Tony Pollard, had 3 carries, and Dak had 4. That's it for the whole team. So that includes quarterback scrambles, 18 carries total for the whole game. And on the other side, I mean, the Buccaneers, they had even less. You have Brady, a 44-year-old quarterback back there, and the leading rusher had 9 carries for them. Leonard Fournette, 9 carries, 32 yards. Ronald Jones had 4 for 14, and Antonio Brown had 1. So they had 14 total carries. So, I mean, amongst the two teams, 14 carries for the Bucs, 18 for the Cowboys. That's 32 total. Between both teams combined, rushing attempts. That's crazy to me. I mean, remember the days where one running back would get like 30 carries on one team alone? What if those days are over? And this might be kind of where the game is headed, but you know, I'd be anxious to see how a team like either one of these teams, I guess obviously the game will play out differently, but if you have 14 carries against a team like Tennessee, you know, who's giving the ball off to Derrick Henry, or, you know, Minnesota with Dalvin Cook, or these teams that have legit running backs, and Zeke Elliott is considered a legit running back, so I don't know, man. If this is the new NFL, we're going to be in for some long football games. And also kind of, you know, like I said, I just feel like there's a tempo there that's missing. So that's the first thing I took away from this. And the second thing I took away from it was just that Brady looks amazing. I mean, Dak looked amazing, but Brady's 44 years old. I know that there's always like, oh, he'll play 3 more years, whatever. If he can stay healthy, where's the decline coming? Like, especially if he's got guys like that he's played with for years. You know, Gronk and him have this chemistry. The touchdown, I think it was like a 14-yard touchdown pass that he had to him where Gronk kind of read the defense and Brady kind of reads Gronk and knows exactly what they're going to do. They're on the same page. He has guys like that with him that it just makes everything so much easier for him. And obviously vice versa. Brady's the GOAT. And then, you know, now you're establishing these relationships with guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. So if these guys stick around come year 3, year 4, year 5, like, I don't see why. I just don't see when that cliff is coming for Brady. He's got the weapons that he needs. as long as they protect him, keep him healthy. And and even that, if he has one injury that's, let's say, a significant injury that keeps him out several months, I still wouldn't put it past him to just come right back, heal up, and be the same Brady. Because it's just, if he's just standing there slinging passes around, it's not like a Patrick Mahomes or even, one of these guys that is a pocket passer but scrambles a lot like Aaron Rodgers, where the athleticism really is key. Brady is all just psychological, man. Like, you don't see him scrambling out of the pocket much, but he knows how to read the line. He knows how to read where everything's going, the pocket movements he has to make that are subtle but so key to buying that extra second so then he could launch it to Antonio Brown for that long touchdown pass. So, I don't know. It was a great game. I was kind of disappointed a little bit in the Buccaneers defense. I thought they would be way better just based off of how they played last year and everything, and they kept the same starters. But at the same time, the Cowboys offense did look pretty good. And CeeDee Lamb had some drops, but even still, Dak put up 400 yards. And if they have more of a balance, like I said, we'll see how that plays out. But awesome game, awesome way to start off this season. And now we have today, tomorrow, and then here comes Sunday. I cannot wait for Sunday. I got my slate right here for this weekend. We're going to go through those games real quick. I'm going to give you my picks of who I think is winning. And then some of them, I think some teams will win, but I don't think they're going to cover the spread. Don't really take the spread counts from me because I'm not the best gambling man. However, I like my picks. I do think that money line wise, I like where I'm at with this. I think I've watched a lot of preseason. There's been a lot of excitement, even in the preseason, just with all the young quarterbacks. It's given us a reason to tune in to watch some of these games. Not having football, obviously, for several months and having it back and being super pumped about that has been great. So let's look ahead to Sunday. We'll start with the early games. The Jets go to Carolina in what will be Sam Darnold's revenge game. So everyone is obviously, shouldn't say excited, but people are looking forward to this because, he had his years with the Jets, didn't really go that well. I will say, I don't put it solely on him. He had some horrible coaching. Adam Gase, what a disaster of a coach that was for the Jets. So I do think that the Jets are in a way better place. They get one of these young quarterbacks in Zach Wilson, who at first everyone was saying he didn't look so good, but come preseason, he played pretty good football in preseason. He lit it up against the Packers in preseason. He lit it up against some teams. So I don't think they're going to be as horrible as we're used to with the Jets. They're playing Carolina. Obviously, Sam Darnold, I will say, now gets his fresh start with Carolina. Now he's got better coaching. He's got better playmakers. I do think he's going to be better than what we're used to as well. So this line right now sits at Carolina's favored by 4 points. I'm not taking that spread because I think it'll actually be a close game. That's my, my hunch. But I do think Carolina wins this, whether it's by a field goal or even by 4 points. I think Zach Wilson has the potential to get a late touchdown here to make the game closer if it is like a 10-point game. But I'm taking the Panthers to win this game. I do think their defense is also pretty good. And like I said, Sam Darnold, as much as he got this heat for not being a good quarterback, he was on the Jets. He was on the Jets prior to the season where they just were a disaster. You had the Adam Gase staring at like a mosquito in the interview room for like 10 seconds. So, yeah, Carolina takes this one. This one, which I will play some money this weekend, I'm probably betting this one because Atlanta is at home. They're hosting Philadelphia. They're hosting the Eagles. Atlanta's favored by 3.5, and I do feel like that line is kind of low. I like Atlanta to win this, and I like them to cover the spread. I think they're quietly a pretty good football team. I think they can be good. I think they have, Matt Ryan's still there. Sure, they lost Julio Jones, but he was getting up there in age. I don't think he was being as crazy productive as the Julio Jones that we've known for years. And I think they have some, Calvin Ridley. They have some young guys there. I think Atlanta's going to be pretty solid this year. Maybe not a playoff team, but I think they'll be around 500. Whereas, the Eagles, I just don't see it happening for them. I think this is going to be a setback year for them. And like I said, first game of the season, it's at home, it's Atlanta. It's not like there's a lot of pressure on the Falcons where there's like Super Bowl expectations. So I think it's one of these games where they can have fun with the fans, being back in that awesome stadium there in Atlanta. So I'm taking the Falcons to win this game. Seattle plays Indianapolis, and there's a couple that I've circled here as possible games of the week, and this one could be it. Russell Wilson goes into Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Obviously, they have Carson Wentz that they got this offseason. I think the Colts will be pretty good. Remember, without a quarterback, they didn't really have a great quarterback in Phillip Rivers. He was all right last year, but he wasn't anything spectacular, and they were a pretty solid team. They stayed in games. So if they can get a little bit better production from the quarterback position, I think their defense is really good. They have great receivers there with Michael Pittman, who came on strong last year. Remember, they gave the Bills a great playoff game. That was a close playoff game. And, the Bills are one of the best teams in the league, and they were last year. So I think the Colts could do pretty good. I'm taking Seattle to win this. But, I think it's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts take it. They're at home. Same thing. Fan base will be rocking. And Seattle's favored by 3. Give me the +3. I will take the Colts +3 here. But if you're talking money line, which is what I'm talking, that's where I would be. If you're listening and taking any advice from me, take the money line advice because the spread gets tricky. But Seattle will win the game, I think. All right. Minnesota, the Vikings are in Cincinnati. I'm not going to spend too much talking about this because if I start, I'll go on and on and on and talk about the Vikings offseason. I'm just going to say Minnesota's defense should be way better. They got a lot of pieces to help. Their offense should still be spectacular. Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, you guys know the deal. And the Bengals, just Joe Burrow. I don't think they're going to be a great team. Improved, but I don't think they're going to be phenomenal. The Bengals here are underdogs by 3 points. It could be close, but I'm taking Minnesota. I'm taking the Vikings to win this game, and I think they'll cover the 3. I think Minnesota definitely wins the game and will win by more than 3 points. All right, we'll move on. Arizona in Tennessee. A lot of people like the Cardinals. I'm not one of those people. I don't think Kyler Murray's as good as advertised. I think a lot of the wins that they got last year or the great plays were made because of DeAndre Hopkins. Perfect example, the Bills game where Kyler Murray scrambles, throws a Hail Mary at the end of the game, and DeAndre Hopkins somehow comes down with it around 3 Buffalo Bills defenders. That's not on Kyler Murray. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving Kyler that credit. But that win, thanks to DeAndre Hopkins, which could still happen again this year, but I'm not on the Kyler Murray hype train as much as other people are. Tennessee, however, I do think will be pretty good. They weren't that bad last year. I think their defense will be better this year. That was what their struggle was last year, and I think they got some pieces this offseason to help out on defense. They're at home. They got the fan base. I think having a year of this kind of COVID year, no fans, a couple fans here and there, going to full stadiums, just getting that vibe, getting the NFL back. I'm excited. I'm taking Tennessee to win the game, and I'm taking them to cover by 3. I think that Tennessee is gonna do really well against the Cardinals. I like Derrick Henry just pounding that football, taking clock, and the Tennessee defense at least play some average football and not give up over 30 points or something to Kyler Murray. It'll be high scoring, maybe like 31-24 or something like that. But I got Tennessee and Tennessee to cover. This is the trash game of the week, which if you choose to watch this game over any other games, I'm sorry. That just means that you're either a Jaguars fan or a Texans fan. In which case, I guess if you're a Jags fan, that's good because you got Trevor Lawrence. So I'm riding the kid, Trevor Lawrence right here to win the game in Houston. The Jags are favored by 3. I think it'll be a close game because it's kind of a trash game. I think there'll be mistakes made here and there. But the Jaguars, I just think I don't think I can even really name many players on the Texans. So I'm taking the Jags. They have, the running backs are good. James Robinson, solid running back. ISU love right there. Trevor Lawrence, obviously we've seen the kid can play in preseason. He looked good too. And I just think the Jags are just more momentum there. So give me the Jaguars. I'm not sure about the spread. It could be a close game. It might just come down to a game-winning field goal. So I don't want to take the Jags -3. I'll just take the Jags to win the game. Jaguars. All right, San Francisco at Detroit. San Francisco's favored by 8 points. That's too high for me. I like the 49ers. I think they're going to win this game, no doubt, but not by 8 points. when it comes to the spread, I'm not picking the 49ers with the spread here. I think it'll be closer than that. That might just mean it's a touchdown, but I still think it'll be closer than that. Jared Goff, I feel the same way with him as far as how people just really hate on him and think he's not a good quarterback at all. I don't think he's as horrible, but I don't think he's as good as the Super Bowl year. I think he's an average quarterback. He's not terrible, and I think he's going to prove that to some people this year. But he doesn't have many weapons in Detroit, so we'll see how that goes. But I do think this will be like a touchdown game. So that spread is right about where it should be, but I'm just taking the 49ers to win. All right. LA Chargers against the Washington football team. Washington's favored by a point here. I like the Chargers. I like Justin Herbert. I think he showed a lot last year, and they lost a lot of close games last year. That tends to balance out. I think this year, maybe that's a point of emphasis there with the coaching staff. Like, hey, when we're in these games and it's close, let's find a way to win it. So here I'm taking the Chargers. They're underdogs, so I'm obviously not taking the spread with the Washington football team. So I got the Chargers winning this game. So take the underdog here. That's what I would do. So Chargers. Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Buffalo looks like they're going to be a top seed, if not the top seed in the AFC or the whole NFL. That offense is incredible. I mean, Josh Allen, I watched one preseason game where he played against the Bears. It's preseason, I know. But, man, he just moved the guys down the field like it was so easy. So I'm going to take Buffalo to win. I don't think it's going to be as high of a... The spread is 6.5. They usually play each other tough, Pittsburgh and Buffalo. And Pittsburgh, it's Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's no slouch. He's a good football coach. So I think Pittsburgh will be in this game. But, you know, I see it playing out as maybe a 30-24 game or, you know, something like that. So if that's the case, it's a 6-point game. I'm not comfortable taking Buffalo with the spread, but I will take Buffalo to win the game. All right, the afternoon games, we got Green Bay playing New Orleans. I think the crowd and everything helps the Saints, but I think Green Bay wins this game. I'm just not taking the spread. The Packers right now are favored by 3.5, and I see this being a field goal game. I think Jameis Winston with the New Orleans Saints is going to be a just crazy offense. I think if Dak Prescott's putting up 400 yards and Brady's putting up 380, Winston can put up like 600 one of these games. I would not be surprised if they just have him sling it all game long. He might have 5 interceptions, but he's going to have a lot of yards. So I think this just has the makings of Winston maybe getting a late garbage touchdown if the game's 30-20, and then the Saints get a garbage touchdown and make it 30-27. But I could see this being a 30-27 game and Green Bay winning. I'll take Green Bay to win the game, but not by the spread. But Denver then goes on the road, and they play the Giants. Denver's favored by 3. I do like Denver to win the game, but the Giants are my I don't want to say sleeper team because I don't think they're going to make a lot of noise, but people think the Giants are going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be bad. Remember, they were, and they were in a horrible division last year, don't get me wrong, but they were competing in these games. They had Daniel Jones, did not have a good year last year. They didn't have Saquon Barkley all of last year. He's back, so give me the Giants +3 here. If I was going to take a chance on an underdog winning, it's this one with the Giants at home. I'm going to take Denver to win the game, but I think it's going to be close. And this is the game I'm most leaning towards switching my pick because I don't know why. I just think the Giants are going to be better. Joe Judge, I've heard that people like him. He's a hard-nosed coach, and those go either way. Either the players hate him or they love him because they can take criticism and they want to win. And all I've heard coming out of there is Saquon loves him and these guys love him, which means they want to win. And they're ready to put the work in. And so, look, the Giants' defense last year wasn't horrible either. So, again, this is a really tough pick for me, especially because Denver with Teddy Bridgewater starting has a lot of wide receiver weapons. So it just depends on if those Giants corners can cover or if they can get pressure on Teddy. Teddy's not the most crazy athletic quarterback, but he can scramble. So that's where the advantage comes, I think, for Denver. So give me Denver to win the game. But with the spread, I'm not comfortable with that. All right, Miami, New England. All right, here we go. Mac Jones time. He's starting. He is the rookie quarterback that wasn't as hyped up, but might end up being the maybe even the top quarterback out of this because he looked great in preseason. New England's favored by 3. Give me New England to win the game and give me New England to win the game by 3. Tua is how I feel better about Kyler Murray than I feel about Tua, and I don't feel that high about Kyler Murray. Tua, I just think, I know last year he was in and out and with Fitzpatrick and whatnot, but if he was in and out, it's because when he was in, he didn't shine like crazy. So give me New England to win. And I think the Dolphins, I think their defense is good. I just can't buy into the Tua hype. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is his breakout year, but I just don't see it. So I like New England here. I think that defense is going to shut down Tua, and I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game. New England will run the ball. They'll, try to take the pressure off of Mac Jones. And if they go up 14-3, I think they're just wasting clock at that time, and the game might even end 14-3. So give me New England here with the spread. The last of the afternoon games is Cleveland and Kansas City. Very, very, very much a top candidate for the game of the week here. The Browns, they're not the same old Browns anymore, guys. And Odell Beckham Jr. is back. They got Jarvis Landry. Baker's Baker. But that defense is good. They're playing in Kansas City. Last year, remember in the playoffs, they played a great game. Give me Kansas City because it's the home opener. They were in the Super Bowl last year. And most importantly, they have Patrick Mahomes. But the spread is 5.5. Kansas City by 5.5. I think it's going to be a close game. I could see it coming down to a game-winning field goal at the end or something like that. So I'll take Kansas City to win this game. Not by the spread, though. So give me KC. All right. Sunday Night Football. The Bears with, what's his nickname? Is it the Red Rifle? I don't know what his nickname is for the quarterback for them, Andy Dalton. But they're playing the Rams. The Bears, we're pretty much just waiting for the mistake of Dalton so that Justin Fields can get in. With that already being in everyone's heads, I don't know how this Chicago offense is going to be great. And they're going up against the LA Rams, whose defense is phenomenal. So give me the Rams. I think the Rams are going to win this game. However, this line is 7.5. It's still the Bears defense. That Bears defense is legit, has been legit for years. They keep the crappy Bears offense in games. And I think this could be another one of those games where they do the same. And, I mean, this would be way out there. I would be super shocked. But if this is like a 14-10 game and it's just a defensive battle and the Bears offense hasn't done anything, and let's say the touchdown that the Bears had was a defensive touchdown, don't be surprised if with 5 minutes left in the game, they just put the kid in. Like Justin Fields, go get the game-winning drive right here. Let's see it. And if he does that, oh my God, if he does that, I don't even want to talk to my Chicago friends for a week because they're going to just be like, oh, Justin Fields and blah, blah, blah. But imagine it playing out like that. Imagine just, Stafford gets hit, fumble, Bears defense scores 7-0, and then, the Rams get a touchdown 7-7, Bears tack on a field goal in the third quarter, and then the Rams get another touchdown, it's 14-10, and then the Bears go 3-and-out, 3 straight drives. They get the ball back with 5 minutes left. What do? I mean, all right. And then we go to the Monday night game. Baltimore against the Las Vegas Raiders right here in Vegas. The Ravens are favored by 4. I don't like that. That's too high. I'm taking the Raiders to win this game and give me the spread. I think the Raiders, this is the underdog team right here then I guess that I'm picking that would have the most value. I just think this stadium is amazing. It's a Monday Night Football game. The Raiders aren't expected to be contenders or anything. Just go out, ball out, enjoy the moment, have fun. Whereas the Ravens, people expect them to make some noise. They're banged up. All their running backs got hurt. Marcus Peters got hurt. Derek Carr is not that bad of a quarterback. The Raiders can put up points. So, they have weapons. So, I do like the Raiders here to upset them. And we'll see. I mean, at this point, it's just stop Lamar, which is a tough task, but I don't think the Baltimore Ravens will have many running plays, and it's going to be just all on him, and, they're banged up. So, yeah, I'll take the Raiders here. And then that's it. That's the slate for Sunday. I'm super excited. So many good games. I will try to come back then and recap these games, and then maybe preview next week's Thursday night game, and just get into this flow. Obviously, as you guys probably know, my schedule's always up in the air because especially now when basketball season starts, sometimes I'll be on the road on a Sunday. But I'm going to try to get back into this. I'm going to try to have my friend Trent and some other friends get on with me. Like I said, everything's good. I've just been I've been so busy. I've been planning the proposal, which it was perfect. It was perfect. So I'm so excited. My beautiful fiance, Sonia, I love her. And it was amazing. We had a nice time in Paris. It was super cool. And yeah, so I'll be back soon. Thank you guys. Please don't forget to share, watch this, comment, let me know. I really want to grow this more, and just if I could have feedback and start talking to people about football stuff and basketball stuff soon, it just makes this so much more fun. It doesn't feel like I'm just talking to a wall, and it would just be awesome. And then I mean, I just love talking football. I love talking sports. I could do this forever. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Let's go, baby. New season. Let's do it.